What's going on, wrestling fans? Welcome into Near Falls with D Hall, a wrestling podcast, episode number 71. In today's episode, we are going to be talking about and with a bunch of different college coaches from across the area at the Division 1, 2, and 3 level. Super excited to release this, guys. It's been a lot of work, a lot of fun talking to all these different coaches from around the area. Super excited to get into it. But if you haven't already, go back, check out my long form interviews that I released this summer. Joe Marcara, Mackenzie McGuire, Ty McGeary, and just recently Rob Walker, who I just sat down with, episode number 70. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, go back and check out those long form episodes. I really enjoyed having those guys over. And coaches, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, taking time out of your busy schedule this time of year. I know it's a lot, sitting down and talking about your squad. But yeah, man, a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoy this edition of the NCAA preview, brought to you by Switch Custom Apparel. Joining me next on the call, we have head coach of West Liberty University, Coach Danny Irwin. How are you, sir?
Hey, doing great. Excited to be on the show. I appreciate you having me.
Oh, I'm excited for you to come on. As always, Coach, thank you so much. Right off the bat, let's talk about it. My main man, Ty McGeary, gets it done last year, goes out and wins the national championship. You were obviously in the corner. Talk about your side of that moment.
Well, just it's special when you have that kind of bond with somebody and you see the day-to-day stuff that they put in and choices that they make that, lead to moments like that for them to get a chance to experience it for myself, the rest of our coaching staff, our program, as parents and loved ones that, kind of happened, in a more special way for him. It wasn't an easy year. None of them are, but he stayed true to the process, and it paid off in the end for him.
Love that. Love that. As always, Mr. Consistency got it done. So proud of him. Okay, moving on into the off season. How's that gone for you guys?
Well, the off season was good. Not that we like the sixth place finish at the national tournament, but I feel like that's maybe what we needed at this time. I think it woke some guys up, and ultimately everybody that we can't rely on this guy or that guy to score all the points. It doesn't work that way, and so I was happy with what we accomplished this spring and summer, and coming into the fall, and just the cycles of training that we've had, and just the little things from nutrition and recovery that we continue to focus on the little things, and it's going to turn into a big mountain that people are going to have trouble climbing.
Oh, I love that. On top of the hill, right?
Hey, that's gonna be us. We keep putting these little details into action every single day.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay. Next question I have for you, and it's kind of like my topic that I've asked all the coaches this year on my preview. How have you built your roster? I know that the transfer portal is different, and it's more active than it's ever been. You guys are obviously in the state of West Virginia. You're close to the WIPU. You're close to Ohio. You're close to West Virginia. What's that look like for you guys? How do you build a roster?
Well, finding people, something that, finding people is a simple thing, but at the same token, just a lot of referrals of, a big thing for me is, you find those kind of people. And when I say those kind, guys that want to develop, guys that want to invest in their teammates and be invested in. And, you get those couple ingredients, and, you start talking about the ownership. I think our guys have with the program, that it's not my program, it's our program. And hey, who do they want to be teammates with? What are they looking for? And it builds the culture within the program, but then it quickly builds the culture outside of the program, that they understand what I'm looking for and what I care about. And it's not always about maybe the most talented guy, but finding the guy that wants to live the lifestyle and develop and be pushed on and off the mat. And so we've had individuals that were blue chippers coming out that, have won titles. We've had, individuals that, were pretty unheralded coming out that have been at the national tournament a few times, and guys finding the podium. And so we've had, I think the highest of the high, and, the guys that, maybe some didn't see it in them, but we saw the right things in them. And those guys have moved the needle just as much for us to be in the position that we are now as a program, through and through. That this is how it's done, and we want to continue to get those guys that want to buy into that process.
I love that. Okay, as you're looking for and finding those guys, has any newcomers or any freshmen caught your eye as we get the season going?
Yeah, I think just this freshman class in general, that it was a big class. We had some big names that have graduated in these last couple of years that were I would say, the mainstays of the lineup. That wrestled with me and for me, however you want to say it. I see it as a us process, and with guys like Leia and Warner and Craig, and Kemp's been there from day one, and Borsellino's still with us, maybe Dr. Borsellino here before too long. But, with those first handful of guys that I mentioned, the Morgans brothers, now we have a new class. In this class, they've just, they accomplished a lot of great things in high school. And, they came in and they haven't backed down from anybody. They have, big goals. And, with those big goals, that they have a good understanding of what it takes. And they got good leadership to look to, with, an Alec Cook and Ty McGeary, that they go about their process day in and day out. And then you got a guy like Vinny Scolo, who really brings the energy every single day. And we have some other guys too that they haven't wrestled at the national tournament, but have really taken these younger guys underneath their wing. Bragan Pearson, Brett Goff, Keaton Greider, and Jalen King. Are four guys that they've changed this program just as much as those guys that people would see scoring points at the national tournament. So really happy about that leadership, and these younger guys looking to them. And I think we're going to see a couple true freshmen in the lineup coming up here soon with guys like your boy Nico Taddy. We could see him out there here soon. And these guys are as ready to go as any freshman I've seen to this point in my 16-year collegiate career. And we decided to unleash them. I think they're going to make some noise out of the gates.
Love that indeed. Okay, Coach, talking about those freshmen, who or what is the coaching staff that you're helping or that is helping you lead the charge?
Well, the cool thing about our coaching staff that all but me and one other wrestled at West Liberty. That we have just our very homegrown staff, and but ultimately just a staff, I think, of people that want to serve these guys. That we mesh really well, and pretty egoless, and just something that, hey, what's best for this guy? Who does he need? Who's going to be his main dude or dudes in his corner? And with that, Christian Rivera was awesome last year. He was somebody that him and McGeary are really close. Him and Cookie are really, really close. And so he's on for year 2. And then, Coach Karp, I was lucky to inherit that big bear himself. I think this is year 10 for him. So he's got us all outnumbered, but he's a West Lib grad. We welcome back, Ronnie D'Amico, who wrestled for me in my first couple years on the Hilltop, and he's back and helping out tremendously. As many people know the name Cole Leia, the landlord, that now he goes from having just one of the most stellar careers that anybody's ever had in Division II to now being able to support these guys in a different role, that he's able to share more of that wisdom and help transfer that to them. And so we have him, and down low, and then we added Colin Wickermaratna, who was an All-American at Kutztown, and was at the national tournament a few times, so he gives us a different flair. He's a Jersey guy too, which we like. And then I think last but not least, Coach Logan, who wrestled at Jesuit for me, and then came up to the Hilltop, was a national qualifier that first year, and he's been with us now a few years, and just amongst all of us, that our guys can find their couple coaches that are going to serve them at a high level.
Gotcha. Okay, next thing I have, when or do you have any streaming options available for us, the fans?
Yeah, so our sports information department does a phenomenal job in that category. You'll see stuff on Facebook, on Twitter. When our home events are, they broadcast. So we got a great crew that does some play by play and stuff of that nature. We're post stuff when we travel. I think Mount Union, their invite, which is one of the first ones on the calendar. They're on there. I think their tournament's on Flow this year. So the little things like that we'll be posting and sharing that stuff. So you just go to any of our social medias, can pick that stuff up and tune in and watch us, have an abundance of attitude, in my opinion.
Oh, I love that. Okay. Next thing I have on the agenda. What do you guys have like a warm-up game in the wrestling room? Dodgeball, handball? What is it on the hilltop?
Well, we like playing games. It's something that we don't just run in a circle every single day. We'll play dodgeball. We got our own basketballs. We play some knockout. We're playing handball. We like to keep things fresh. Keep guys coming in where they can be excited about training. But like any program, we probably have some guys that think they're way better at dodgeball than what they actually are. But makes it fun. When we can do new things every day. These guys are a riot to be around. Puts a smile on my face.
I love that. I love that. Okay. Next thing I have on the list. As we get going through the season here, how have you built your schedule to get these guys prepared for the national tournament?
Probably our toughest schedule to date. Just something that opened up with Pitt Johnstown, who I don't have a stellar record against Coach Pecora. He's still getting it done, and Hilltopper alum and somebody always excited to be around. Ton of fire, but so we open up with them, and our starters a week later hit Mercyhurst, which Coach Wheeler, who also spent some time on the Hilltop himself, has done a great job building that program. And we follow that up with the Findlay Open, and we roll coming back from those, that a very tough month in November to wrestling Drexel and Clarion to Findlay, to hosting some duels, and the front half's challenging, and we pick it right back up with national duels out in Iowa, and welcome Ashland to our Hilltop. And just it's not going to get easy any weekend, I would say, of the year for us. But I think it's a schedule that's going to consistently challenge our guys to develop and enhance their skill sets. So then we can shine and march like we want to.
Okay. Last couple questions I have for you. Any under the radar guys we should be looking out for on your squad?
Well, rankings are rankings, and pretty much check out the weight classes for us that we're not ranked at. That hey, we're looked to prove them wrong no matter what, whether it's regional rankings, national rankings. But I'm excited about the level of competition in the room, and whoever I think comes out on top for us. Each of the 10 weight classes are going to be guys that are going to be in the mix at the end of the year, and not just at the regional that we host, I think March 2nd, but out in Wichita, Kansas, I think March 15th and 16th for the NCAAs.
Love that. Okay. Anything or anyone you want to shout out before I leave you go?
Well, a big shout out to you. Obviously putting a ton of effort into supporting wrestling and covering programs, in the region, and just appreciate that. Appreciate our parents. It's something that we want to be in the position to enjoy what we do with our parents and families, and between them and our administration and just our support staff for athletics. It's makes for a great recipe for our guys just to enjoy the sport of wrestling, and create an environment that I would say second to none. So a lot of good shout outs there, and I hope to see everybody for a home opener when we hit Pitt Johnstown on November 2nd at 7:00 p.m.
This Thursday, let's go.
Climb the hill.
Oh boy, I'm excited about it. Should be a dogfight indeed. Coach, thank you so much for coming on and hanging out with me for a little bit.
Well, I appreciate your time.
All right, Coach.